Greetings everyone, my name is Denise. I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark. I don't sell on any other platforms, just to kind of disclose this, so I really have a depth of knowledge just with the Poshmark platform. I have dabbled in eBay and ultimately it's not a great fit for me, so I just focus my energy on Poshmark and it seems to be working. I decided to take a look at my April numbers at the end of month, the first week of the new month. I always like to take a look at the previous month, get a handle on where my numbers are standing, and take a little bit of a deeper dive into what types of items am I selling, what do I need to focus on, where should I put my energy, what is working for me. I don't necessarily dive into, oh no, this isn't working for me, but I do like to highlight how many items in a particular category I've sold. And there's really some fun ways to dive deep into your Poshmark sales just simply from using the sales activity report that is built right into the Poshmark platform. You don't need to be using any other additional software. I'm sure other software platforms that people pay for have really cool analytics built into them, but I'm just looking purely from what Poshmark provides us and then using the tools from Poshmark to kind of talk about some things. So, who wants to talk about numbers and items and all sorts of cool stuff? So the first thing I'm going to talk about is my sales. So I sold $4,631 worth of items for 137 items, which is $33.80 average sales price. I sold over $5,000 in, just over $5,000 in January and February. March, I think I did about 4,500, and then April I did 4,600. And just kind of looking at my previous numbers through Closet Insights, I am up for March and April, but I am below January and February, and that is a trend that I have always seen in my sales. I have always dipped down in March and April. That's just, I don't know, the natural flow of maybe the types of items I sell. I'm not really sure, but that has been my experience. The number, I'm not holding out on the numbers, I gave you the numbers. I simply took those numbers just from looking at Closet Insights and then doing some selections. So I'm gonna talk about how to find that, and I'm also going to screen record so I can share with you how to follow what I'm talking about. Okay. So if you go into Poshmark, go to the drop-down menu that says My Sales. This is the easiest way for me to access it. Order activity is going to be on the left. I just pop into Closet Insights. Once I go into Closet Insights, I can tap on Current Year, and I can see pretty easily what my sales totals were for the year and the year to date. I then can hit the little toggle of listings sold and find that I sold 137 items. You can also find all sorts of interesting information here, like what brands you're selling, who are you selling to? I'm mainly selling to women. I'm selling a little bit to men, a little home, a little kids. And then you can also look at how many offers you're taking. Are your sales based on offers, buy it now, or bundle offers? My bundle offers are very, very low. Then you can also take a close look at your inventory. I'm going to go to current year. I have technically published 1,139 listings this year. Now, that is not brand new listings. That's Posh Sidekick relisting items for me after 60 days, and they appear as new in your closet. I currently have 695 available listings in my closet. So that's the information that you can gather basically from Closet Insights. There's also my Posh stats that I want to touch on really quickly. If you go to the same menu on the left side, you can look at my Posh stats, and I have 695 listings available. It talks about how many days it takes me to ship. I have 4,349 listings in total, of which I've sold 3,067. I have a little wonky math in my numbers. I mean, technically you should be able to take your listings minus your sold listings and come up with the number of items in your closet. But I just think the way that I have some items set up that I don't have a true number for listings minus sold listings. And that's just how it is. I've decided to let that go. Now, the most exciting thing that I want to talk about actually, and it's in the same thing when you're looking in sales, is to print out a sales report, and then you can get really deep with the information and just kind of figure out, like, how are my sales doing? What am I selling? What categories am I selling from? What categories am I not selling from? What are my stats? You can just print one report. I'm going to go back to that same place, and it's within sales. So you go to my sales, and then on the left, there's a little menu. It says my sales, active offers, my Posh stats, closet insights, my balance, my sales report, my inventory report. So I am going to do a custom range. I'm going to start from April 1st until let's say May 1st. And I'm gonna have the report emailed to me. This is gonna come to your email like a spreadsheet, and then once you get it from your email, you're gonna have to download the report. I have the report up on my screen, and now I'm going to talk about what I do with this report to gather information. I did write down some details already of the ways that I have used this report. And I'm gonna tap into a really short few clips with how to sort this information that I have already put together that I'm just gonna share. Okay, so I talked about my April analytics, and my April analytics all came from Closet Insights. So my sales, Closet Insights, that's where you can gather that information. I'm proud that my average sales price was $33.80 because, you know, I have live shows, and live shows impact your average sales price. So I feel like I'm selling enough items at a higher price point that really help even things out if I let things go for $15 to $20 in a live show. Okay. So from my sales activity report, these are the kind of things that I've gathered. I have a little odd disclaimer. My sales report, activity report, isn't going to exactly match the number for April from my Closet Insights, and this is why. Closet Insights are based on April 1 to April 30th sales. So Closet Insight is sort of that very pure snapshot into your sales. It told me a total sales, and if you're in that month, it'll tell you the total sales for every single day. You just can't see at that granular level once you're out of the month. You can only see the granular level when you're in that month. Then it also talks about the listings. Now, when I print out my sales report from April 1 to April 30th, it is only showing me the items that I technically had funds released for. So if you print out April 1 to April 30th, it may appear like you didn't sell anything after, say, April 24th or April 25th, but that's because of the shipping process and the release of funds. So what I did for the purpose of this report, I went from April 1st to May 4th, which is today. So it's going to show the release of funds for items that I sold in April in a little bit more close of a detail. It's not going to show me really any items that I sold in May. Now, what's interesting on the April 1st side is that there may be a few items in there that actually sold in March. And that's just how it is. If you want to be like very, very particular about your numbers, then I recommend keeping your own systems. I personally have no problem making this system work for me because I know that I can look at the numbers at the level that I feel comfortable with. I don't need to be so granular that this report doesn't work for me. This report works for me. Now here's just some exciting stuff. My top 5 sales. Okay, my top sale was a Jenny Kane cotton cardigan, and I sold that for $292, and those funds have been released to me. So that is a done deal. That transaction is complete. Now what's funny that I was just about to reference is that I didn't have any like $100 sales or $150 sales. My number goes from $292 straight to $78. So my top sales went like this: $292, $78 Veronica Beard cashmere sweater, $74 Patagonia hooded jacket, $71 a pair of Madewell clogs, and $71 an icebreaker vest. So those were my top sales, which were like in that $70 range. If I were to just look at my sales as far as kind of chunks of numbers, I sold one item over $100, and between $151, I sold 16 items, and then $50 to $25. So that is really my sweet spot. That's where I want to be selling. Of course, I want to sell over $100 and higher, but in general, the most concentrated sales of mine are between $50 and $25, and I sold 74 items in that range. And then I sold 55 items from $8 to $24. My cheapest item was a pair of Applegate hot dog socks for $8, and then I had items up to $24. Then I kind of can break it into like categories and sort as well. So this spreadsheet style makes it really cool to sort things. So I'm just going to show how I gathered that information. But the one thing I want to talk about, and I think it's important, is that I do have a screenshot of essentially what my April looked like. And 2 of my biggest sale days were a result of having live sales. Okay, so out of that $4,600, I had $971 come directly from 2 live shows. I held 2 shows in the month of April. I'm not a live seller. I'm every single day, every single week. I like to have a show once a week because heck, I love the revenue, but it's work and sometimes it just doesn't work into my schedule. So I wound up having 2 shows on the 10th of April and on the 22nd of April. The first show, I sold 19 items for a total of $470. And the second show, I sold 17 items for $501. So I sold 36 items live. Now, when I open up the spreadsheet, it's gonna feel like a little bit overwhelming. I mean, it's all of your information in the sense of like your category. It's going to have, it starts on the left-hand side with the day that the item sold. And then it goes into the order number, and then the actual listing description, and then it is the category, and then it's the category broken down, like, okay, is it men's, women's, and then what's the next category? If it's tops, after tops, what category is beyond that? So you know how we can select like women's tops, button down blouses. So it really gets that granular if you want it to be. Then it talks about the brand, then it talks about the color. I could sort and find out what color is selling best for me and focus on selling that color. Then it talks about size. Important to see, like, does that size matter? Like, should I be focusing on selling a size that seems to have some momentum for me? Or should I be picking up other sizes that maybe I am missing on? I'm not sure. Was it a bundle order? Was it an offer? Was it new with tags? And then here's a column that allows you to have the cost price. I currently don't put in the price of the item, but that is a great thing to do in the listing process. It's additional information at the bottom, and you can put what the item cost to you. Then it's the order price. So that's what the buyer paid. And it also shows you what was the lowest price for that item. Now let's look at this very top item. It's a popover tunic. I sold it for $51 to the buyer, but at some point I had sent off offers, or I did kind of closet clear out, and I dropped the price to $42, but it didn't sell at $42. It sold at $51. So that's kind of fun to look at. Then it talks about if I got a shipping discount, if I upgraded the label, so on and so forth. The things I want to focus on look like this, okay? Drag this to the very top, because that's kind of like my menu item. There we go. And I'm gonna freeze that. So then I don't move that when I do sorting. That's gonna stay at the top. So one of the things that I personally like to look at is, what are my top 5 selling items? So what I'm gonna go to is I'm gonna go to order price, it's a column, and then I'm gonna sort it ascending, and that means it's lowest to highest. And so instead I'm gonna sort it as descending. And then I see my top 5 items right here to the left. Once you get into the habit of sorting things, you're gonna better understand how to use this information, but this is available to you. Like, this is just built into Poshmark. Poshmark's given me this for my 20%, and I am going to use it. Now, the few other things that I did, for example, is this is where I kind of looked at those numbers, like, oh, between $100 and $51, these are the items that I sold for that price point. You can also kind of move things over if you don't want to drill down any further and you want to look at them a little closer. I think, you know, just become comfortable with the interface of the spreadsheet. Now, here's something that is really fun. I decided I was going to sort by category. So even though I previously sorted by price, when I go to click over to category, which I go up to the G and then I go to category, and actually I'm gonna go back. Let's sort it by ascending. It's just gonna go in alphabetical order, and it's gonna put all of my sales together by their category. So for example, I sold 3 accessories. I sold 1 bag. I'm obviously not big on being a bag seller. Not big. I could work on that. I should work on that. And this is just like, it can be fun. It shouldn't feel stressful. It should give you insight. Dresses. If you select dresses and hold shift and go down to dresses, and then you look at the very bottom, I'm gonna just move this really quickly. Oh, it won't let me. But if you go to the very bottom down here, it's gonna show that I sold 9 dresses, or you could count them. You may be selling way more items than me. Intimates and sleepwear, I sold 13. So bras are in there. Sports bras, I have Lululemon shows. That's why I have so many things sold in the bra range. You can look right here and you see Lululemon, Skims. Moving into jackets and coats, I sold 12 jackets and coats, and that includes blazers and sort of more lightweight style jackets. That doesn't mean like proper winter jackets. It's just all the things that fell under jackets and coats to go through. Like jeans, I only sold 5 pairs of jeans. Not a lot of jean sales. I mean, that's like 1 pair a week. That is low. I feel like I need to work on sourcing jeans. I'm very particular about the jeans that I source, so that makes it a little bit difficult. I am not really choosing jeans that sell in the $20 to $25 range. I'm trying to find jeans that'll sell for $45 and upwards. So that makes sourcing a little bit harder. I'm definitely not going to refuse jeans that are selling at that price point, but I do need to focus on that. I had some other items and a lot of those were unlisted live shows. And then also figs I had as women other. I didn't have it listed, the scrubs that I've sold as sets. I sold 2 scrub sets and that's just category women's others. If I then kind of moved to pants and jumpsuits, I sold 17 pairs of pants and generally it's because they're leggings. That's why my category is bigger. I sold men's shirts and I sold 7 of them. I sold 8 pairs of shoes, except for 1 pair of Allbirds insoles. Just a little side note on that. If you happen to go to the bins and you are out sourcing and you find a pair of on-running Allbirds or Hokas that look trashed, pull the insoles out, pull the laces out. If they appear to be in decent condition, you can sell those items. $16 to $25 I get for just insoles, even if they have some wear. The companies themselves, like specifically, the companies do not sell insoles. And so, I mean, maybe it's even other resellers who are buying them. I don't really know, but I like to provide that little bit of service by selling insoles. And then I just keep going through. Okay, for example, I don't source skirts. My skirts are kind of like dwindling down. I maybe have 10 skirts in my closet right now and I sold 1. Skirts are not my thing. Sweaters, I sold 10. Swimwear, I sold 2. Tops, I sold 32 tops. Now that is the whole gamut, right? That is everything that falls under tops, from long sleeve blouses to t-shirts to tank tops to sleeveless to short sleeve t-shirts, blouses. It's that whole category, but I am selling 32 tops a month, which is great. That's almost a top a day. I sold 127 women's items and I sold 18 men's items. Now there isn't a category, and I really wish there was, but they don't have any sort of live category built into the spreadsheet yet, but I was thinking of emailing. Some other things that you could sort by is you could sort by brand to really get a look at what you're selling, what brands are selling well for you. So you need to work through your own information based on the types of items you're able to source in your area. If you're watching this video and I'm telling you that I sold 300 packed items because I went to a sample sale, I don't think you're going to be able to find 300 packed items. So what I'm saying is use this report through the lens of what is available to you. Maybe you can just access small brands and you hit it out of the ballpark with what you have available. Maybe you're a vintage seller and so brand isn't necessarily where you're headed, but you can niche down into, wow, my vintage dresses are selling amazing for me and my vintage sweaters are just sitting around. They're kind of not selling at all. I can take a look and I'm just gonna scroll this report. So I have, Anthropologie, Aloe Yoga, Athleta, Beyond Yoga, 1 pair of Birkenstocks, a bunch of one-off brands, no brand dominating yet, a couple of sets of figs, 3 Free People pieces, and then here we go. We've got some Levi's, and now we get into Lululemon Athletica. I hold Lululemon live shows, and so that's why I have sold so many Lululemon pieces. I have sold a total of, 28 Lululemon items, a few Madewell, some marine layer, mod cloth, Patagonia is kind of my second biggest category, and that's only 6 items. So it goes Lululemon, Patagonia. And when you quick list or sell unlisted items, it's not going to sort that way because it's kind of unknown. All of these other ones down here are simply because of my live show sales. Use the information at your fingertips to help drive your sourcing strategies, to pat yourself on the back. Like, what are you selling successfully? These reports, you may know, oh gosh, it feels like I've sold 5 sweaters in the past week, LL Bean. Wow, I think I'm gonna keep my eyes open for LL Bean sweaters. Allow this report to drive how you source. You could look for more items that you know you've had success selling. For me, I know skirts tend to be long tail items, so I don't really source them anymore. So it's a double-edged sword because if I'm not sourcing them, I'm not gonna sell them. So skirts are gonna be low on my selling list. And I mean, that's just how it is. Not have solid sales on every single category. I mean, my goodness, I wish I did, but that's just not really how that works for me anyway. I like to take what I have been successful at and then use that information to try to drive my sourcing for things that I know work for me. Okay. So there are my numbers for April, and I hope that gives you some insight. I hope you maybe learned something about reports that are available at our fingertips, about using Closet Insights. I think it's important weekly to look at Closet Insights and be like, gosh, am I gonna hit my $5,000 sales goal this month? If I'm not selling $1,250 a week, I'm not gonna hit that number. Can I sell $1,000 in a weekend and then sales drop off and I know that I need to do some sort of strategy, closet clear out, a deep discounted offers to likers to help pick up sales? Do I just want to drop my prices 20% and kind of see what happens? Do I want to go in and strategize and look at bundle sales and people who have liked multiple items in my closet, target them, offer them 40% off a bundle? I am currently utilizing the no shipping discount to likers. I find that I'm getting a lot of counter offers as a result, but it is, you know, resulting in sales for me. So I'm kind of going with the strategy at the moment. And that's all I have for you. As always, I'm open to hearing how you kind of look at your numbers and your sales. Do you look at your numbers and wonder how to move forward sourcing? I think you can also use your inventory report to help kind of drive how long items have been in your closet, and then also sort down into those categories just from what your inventory is. Now let's just give a little short example about using inventory report. I sold 1 skirt last month. Now if I go into my inventory report and I have 500 items and I have 100 skirts and I'm only selling 1, that's a pretty good indicator that I am not picking up the right kind of skirts. So you could couple the sales report with your inventory report to get a sense of what you're doing. If you are looking to branch out and strategize and really like kind of take control, set goals of your business. If you're like in the groove, know what you like to source, know what you're selling, then you could use this tool just to confirm the information you already know. I like confirming what I know. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. May kindness light your path. Come say hi. Come say hi. Oh, here's the puppy boy who is sleeping. Louie.